So let's go on to the next one, because if you're not confused yet, this will confuse you.
Okay.
Let's talk about what is known as a dual agent. That's an agent that is representing both the buyer and the seller. Now, once again, that's not the real estate salesperson representing both the buyer and seller. It means the company. In this case, let's say it's Compass, our company. So in that context, a real estate company agent, either acting directly or through one or more associate licensees, can legally be the agent of both the buyer and seller in a transaction, but only with the knowledge and consent of both the buyer and the seller. Why do you need consent for a dual agency? Because not everybody is comfortable with having one company, one agent, representing both parties. They're just not.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Not one agent, but one broker.
Company.
Okay.
It has. That's taking it to the extreme, but let's talk about that in practical terms. So when you're signing a buyer rep agreement with your broker, there is a specific provision, a disclaimer about dual agency. And you actually have to check the box to authorize it, to say that you're okay with it. Because what that means, if you're not okay with it, is that I can't show and sell any other Compass properties to you because we will have a dual agency if you decide to buy one of those homes. I can only show you my listings.
Or other brokers.
Or other brokers,
yeah.
Right. So that's the thing here, is that dual agency needs to be understood that it's the company involved. When can that be different? So you can have two different types of dual agencies. You can have a dual agency where Compass is the only company involved, but there's two different Compass agents. That happens all the time. The listing agent works for Compass and the selling agent representing the buyer works for Compass. Very, very common. Compass has huge market share. The odds of me finding a home that's represented by a Compass listing agent that you're going to want to buy is extremely high because we control a lot of the inventory that's for sale. That is a dual agency. It does not mean that there's only one realtor involved between the buyer and the seller, although it can. That's another form of dual agency. So let's say that you're that buyer that wants to renege on your buyer rep agreement and buy direct from the listing agent so you can get that really good deal that you described, whatever that might look like, and save all this money. You now have a dual agency. You have one individual licensee between the buyer and the seller. Even if there's no buyer rep agreement with that buyer and there's just a listing agreement with the seller, that is a dual agency.